It was such a big collaboration.
KORBAN needs some local music.
She was super excited to actually write a song, especially for KORBAN.
There's something that's truly universal.
Seeing the whole team come together.
It just makes the footage even more precious.
2 music videos come out of KORBAN. Nice way to cleanse the palette before going back.
Vin early on was really asking us this is a web series, right? Was that how we're going to look at it? I told her, look at it like a film. Singapore, New Zealand, I think all of us shared that common affinity to cinematic storytelling, vibes and tones and instincts, I guess.
That process for me was helped with how it was shot. It just helped me not look at it as a TV story. I had to end at where App 1 ended, but instinctively I didn't feel like it should end there. There's still that, you have to curate it for a web series. There was some challenge in there.
Language was still there, we couldn't run away from it. This was a Malay language series.
I helped in watching some offlines, generally telling the team okay, this makes sense. Our commissioner helped us a lot as well. When we send cuts to him, he would sometimes give us a call and tell us why this doesn't make sense or why this can't be in and stuff.
For the last 3 episodes when the scenes got more emotional and more confrontational, I would just be in edit suite with my hood up and my mask on, so tears can't be seen through all the CCTV cameras. I needed to feel as much as the character was feeling, and only the next day, when someone would see the review, I would see whether it worked. I'm glad that it did for most of those scenes. I needed that challenge to move on to App 8 for that final breakthrough scene. Yeah, all good now though.
Sound and music came a very powerful part. I think Vin, to her ear, and I think maybe what she listens to, I don't know. A lot of very interesting choices in terms of music. That got us, really looking at music being another character, to complement our show. And
he was telling me hey, you know what? I think KORBAN needs some local music. Maybe approach local bands. Why don't you do that? I got to know of Syed Azmir. He was pretty interested to come on board this project. He actually had songs already written, which he was keen to put on a show. So I was like, hey, yeah, why not? Let's do that.
I had a schoolmate, she already has music background as Zalilo. Told her about what KORBAN was about, and she was super excited to actually write a song, especially for KORBAN.
For some very key scenes that we had in the stories, the tracks just worked beautifully.
It was such a big collaboration with so many people and creatives who are just creatives in their own field.
We got to relook at the story in a different way other than the edit. We also had 2 music videos come out of KORBAN.
We had Vic on one of the music videos. The person behind the camera, Evan on the other.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to put together. It was a little break from the main story.
Yeah.
Just made us more aware of what we already had.
To see it at least applied onto these other videos, it was really fun. Yeah, I think we milked it for all that we could. Yeah,
We're gonna milk it some more for this.
Vic wrote this scene where Aisha is doing her challenge against Haka. I think that was one of her best parts of her writing script. It was simple, but it had all the right ingredients going on for it. I knew how I could trick it out here with Ross in Singapore and Aisha and Ray in that setting. And then with Kelly and the Haka scene and what Evander and the boys and all that brought to it. And later, the icing on the cake was when Vin pieced it all together and she showed it to me, and I was like, yes, goosebumps. What charged me to make it right and bug even our audio engineer to redo things and the sound design and all that was when our little girl came running to our living room and I was watching it at home. She was just captivated and she started doing the Maori, the Haka, and okay, there's something there. There's something that's truly universal in that montage and that scene. And tell the team that kind of defined for me what KORBAN was actually, that whole sequence. It was the epitome of all the parts come together, right? Yeah. I would say rewarding.
Mine's like breaking, like break borders, break hearts, you break expectations, or you break yourself down. Yeah.
For me, it's relationships, be it on set, in post, among us now. Yeah, it's all about relationships.
This project just symbolizes like what it means to be human.
It was really about telling the story. I mean, it was a father-daughter story, but I think it became a human story in some sense. There's parental relationships that were there, that love relationship, the romantic relationship, the idea of chasing your dream, sacrificing things along the way, compromising things along the way. It was like funny, it was like art imitating life, imitating art. That's what pulled me through a lot of the challenges. Like times you want to tap out, you want to take the shortcuts, and nobody's going to bother about this. But I think it would bother us, so we did it. We would either make the change, we would spend that extra time on it, extra money on it, to make it happen, just so that we had that put out, like that dish, I guess, that is Korban.
And that's Korban.
Is she a ghost? Is she a figment of her imagination? She didn't have Ari there, and
I think Jivan was like, name me Ari lah, Ari.
Saksikan Korban hanya di Mewatch.
what is she? And is she conscious? And then I don't know, Vin. Ross.
Oh, Ross ah.
No, I think it was me.
Whoever wants it can have it.
Yeah, come and talk to us.
That's not gonna be in the card. Good lord.
Put it in the card.
Sign me up for another round of torture.
Okay,
That's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Yay. Thank you.